But as I said, there's a part of me that's kind of like, you know, why do we need to mention this, and do we need to mention it, and why are we mentioning it? And is there a little bit of like, no, I'm sorry, I'm being deadly and seriously and genuinely honest and earnestly honest. It's not about attention. Excuse me. Sorry. It's not about attention. Because if it was, then I think by now I would have already told somebody about it. Because isn't that the whole point then? If that's what if that's what some people would try to insinuate. But I don't know. Maybe because I do know, and I do understand that once you get something out there, it loses its power. So if there's something that's been on your mind, something that's bugging you, something that you're not happy with or whatever, and you share it either with a friend or whatever, or however you share it, whatever you feel is appropriate or right for you to share it, then it lessens its power. And yes, I'm just going to be, I'm talking about self-harming, and yes, I've self-harmed recently. I haven't done it for a long time, but just recently, I don't know, I would hazard a guess and say, looking at that, it's got to be about a month and a half, maybe, about a month and a half ago. It wasn't, you know, really severe, well, it was severe enough. It might have needed stitches, but I didn't. It's just healed as it is. I don't think necessarily it would have needed stitches. I mean, it wasn't to the point where, you know, it wasn't going to stop bleeding or anything. And I've done it so many times, I can tell. I can always tell whenever it really needs to be stitched or not. Do you know what I mean? Got enough experience in it to know that. But anyway, so yes, like I said, I've self-harmed just recently. Now, if I put this video up on either of my channels, or both of my channels, which I guess I'm going to do, mind you. How long have I been? I've been talking nearly an hour, haven't I? I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to put this video up or not. And not just because of what I've just said about my self-harming, but because of the length of the damn thing. It's too long. This is way too long. Nobody's going to sit. I couldn't sit and watch all through those videos of those people, and I identify with those people, and I totally get what they're going through, and my empathy and sympathy is with them 100%. You know, my heart goes out to them. It genuinely does, and if I, you know, in any small way I could help them, if that's appropriate, if that's the right thing to do, or whatever, I don't know, because again, depends on how long ago they made those videos. Maybe they don't need, you know what I mean, and maybe everything's hunky-dory, whatever, do you know what I mean? Again, that's, you know, but the point I'm trying to make is that as much as I feel all of that, I couldn't sit there and watch the whole of their video if it's 45 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour long or whatever. And that's partly my own stuff, because like my attention, depending on, you know, so this video is definitely going to be, you know, who's going to sit here for an hour and watch me? And it's not as if it's really entertaining or funny either. Talking about fairly serious issues, I guess. But maybe I could just edit it. But then I haven't got the energy right now. Right, anyway, so look, the thing is, like I say, this is why partly why I'm making this video is because I want to understand and try to understand myself, and try to understand, where am I? How far have I come? I'm pretty sure within myself, I feel that I've progressed compared to, if I kind of look back to some degree, and I think to some times, you know, and when I was homeless on the street and so on and so forth and so forth. And within myself, I'm fairly certain I have progressed and I have moved on, and and my way of dealing with things is better. But it feels very much like I've gone backwards at the moment. And I don't know, is that still part of the process? Am I still going through that process? Is this some sort of turning point? Is this some sort of juncture where I now cross the threshold from being completely, you know, free of the diagnosis? Because I did say in an earlier video, no I didn't, sorry, I tell a lie, I beg your pardon, I didn't say in an earlier video at all. Sorry, find that. I didn't say it, I mentioned it in another comment. I said, oh, sorry, I am so tired now. I'm getting so tired, I'm finding it really hard to concentrate and focus. Yeah, so I'm trying to understand it. Is this just part of my process? Is this part of the progress? Do I need to go through? I guess I need to go through it. I ain't got any choice. I've got to go through it. I just hope I come out the other end stronger, and you know, again with better tools. Do I need to go back to therapy? I don't want to go back to therapy. Oh, for God's sake. You see, and especially when I'm tired like this, my irritability, and my distress tolerance, and everything's going out the window. I am struggling, I'm really struggling, but I don't want to admit that for a start off. I don't want to admit defeat. No, not defeat. No, that's not the right word. Because I'm definitely not defeated. And I'm definitely not, you know, I am definitely in a lot better position than I ever was. It's just that sometimes you lose sight of it sometimes, especially when you get bogged down in this. You know, like I say, about a month and a half ago, I was in a really, really dark space. One of the darkest spaces I have been in since I can remember, since I was homeless on the street. I hadn't eaten in 3 days. I hadn't drunk any water in 3 days. And I was in a really, really bad space. And I ended up using a coping mechanism that I hadn't used in a long, long time. And it was really hard to actually get myself to do it at all, to be quite honest. Because it wasn't second nature anymore. It wasn't necessarily something that, you know, because I don't do it on a regular basis in that sense. But yeah, I got a razor open and I self-harmed. And I never told anybody. You guys, in some ways, thank yourselves. Oh no, sorry. In some ways, you kind of. No, I say that's the completely wrong way of phrasing it. Sorry. I have not told anyone about this self-harming episode about a month and a half ago back. I've not told anybody, you know. I could have told umpteen different people within my circle of people I know. Therapists, I could have told John, I could have told Sam. I've got her number. I could have phoned Sam up. I could have phoned somebody at Emergence. I could have spoken to umpteen different friends I've got on my phone. I could have spoken to anybody and told anybody in my immediate circles and further afield slightly about what I'd done. I know 100% that they would have my back and that they would be more than... They wouldn't... They would be so supportive. Do you know what I mean? But that wasn't the point for me at that point, or then, whatever. It was because, you know, I felt a lot of shame, still do, around that. Feel a lot of shame about it. I felt like I was doing it for attention. And I thought, this is bad. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? This is wrong. This is bad. You shouldn't be doing this. You know? You shouldn't be doing this. This is not right. And after a while, as soon as it healed up, it took a while. It took a good few days for it to heal up. So at least to the point where, at least it's not going to leave any, in the scab, eventually the scab's gone now as well, but there's definitely going to be a scar there. But, yeah, so once and then unless I catch a glimpse of it every now and again, I've kind of forgotten about it again, you know what I mean? I've kind of put it to one side, and now that, if people notice it, if my sleeve's up and then, like, people notice it or whatever, I'm hoping that they just think it's part of the rest of my scars on my arms, and they don't necessarily clock that it's fresh or new. I don't know, maybe it is obvious, maybe it is, I don't know. I mean, from my point of view, I try to pretend and tell myself that it isn't. Maybe it really is, I don't know. But then again, it depends how well people know me, and anyway, lots and lots of other things. I suppose in some ways, when I think about it, people that know me really, really well, like say John, for instance. If I am to go and see John tomorrow, for instance, well, I won't be seeing him tomorrow because it's Sunday, but just for argument's sake, I went to go and see John, and I had my sleeves rolled up and what have you. John would definitely notice it, because he knows me that well. He knows my arms. He's seen me. We've known each other 6 years. If he would notice it. He would notice it. But other people that know me as well, and because I don't always, and especially because it's been cold and it's been winter, so there's no point in wearing short sleeves unless I'm indoors necessarily, and so forth. So even those people around me that have gotten to know me a little bit or whatever, I don't even know if they would have necessarily noticed